Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube channel. My name is Luxsunny. I am a wannabe slash trying to be artist type of person thing going on here. And today I figured that because my thumbnails have been giving me an increase on like views and stuff, it would be pretty cool to kind of show you guys how to make a thumbnail itself. Or if you want to be a thumbnail YouTube artist, because apparently that is an actual thing. I have been looking around on YouTube about how people are just being commissioned to do like professional thumbnails, and I thought that was super cool. So I'm going to put up here what the thumbnail sizes are so you guys have a pretty good idea of what is what. So the YouTube banner is when you go to someone's profile, that's the big thing you're going to see on the background. So the avatar icon is like your profile icon, and then the thumbnail is what you're going to be looking, that's the first thing you see before you hit click onto a video. So they're called thumbnails because it's just a smaller version of what the whole video is supposed to be. So I figured for today's video it'd be really interesting to kind of show you guys and teach you guys a little bit more about how to make a thumbnail a little more appealing. So speaking of appealing, I have made quite a couple of thumbnails already. So as you can see, I've been kind of just increasingly gotten better at it, and it's been a lot more fun to make my own rather than kind of like asking for help. And not to mention that I also learned a couple of tricks along the way to creating a thumbnail. It doesn't always necessarily have to be like hand drawn every single detail. You can actually get a couple of like PNG type of pictures if you're going to be talking about like a certain type of thing, a video game, a movie, a reference, one of the two. I recently just did one about the new Smash or Pass Fire Emblem Awakening type of video, and I'm still in the works on that. But I did make that thumbnail with PNGs from the official Fire Emblem Heroes thing, and I just like kind of put little marks on them because I thought it'd be kind of cute, because I kind of did not have time to draw everything out, and I figured, well, you know what, you kind of got the idea, you got the concept, and you know, things like that. So anyways, so what you really want to focus on is like what is going to be your main focus on the video. What is it going to look like? What's it going to represent? What is your video based off? And how can your artwork speak from a small point of view? So I'm showing you a couple of like images that I created. Some of them you've noticed I didn't fully draw. Some are just like pictures I took because I was just like taking pictures, and it's considered still a thumbnail. But also you just gotta have to like look carefully, like how do you want it? Do you want a full-on background? Do you want like full-on colors? Is it like a rough sketch? Is it gonna be based off you going to Artist Alley? Maybe it's gonna be a tutorial, maybe it's gonna be something different, you know, things like that. It's really important to kind of find out what video you're making, and from that video you're gonna want to create something like a wow factor, like, oh, you know what, I want to see that. Oh, you know what, I want to. This one was really effective when I had put rejected, because a lot of, I guess the word rejected in A Broken Heart seemed to have created like incoming trafficking, and I was like, you know what, let me start putting some words out, because words are kind of what people want to see, and it's kind of something interesting that the audience seems to have liked, because I had a couple comments from friends too when they saw the video saying, oh yeah, I saw that you got rejected. I thought it was a relationship, but it just turned out it was just your simple, what's it called? It was just your video about being drifted away from art. And I was like, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. And I thought that was super hilarious, because wordings can really define how you want to make a thumbnail. So for this thumbnail, or this video that I'm showing, it's just basically how I started a thumbnail from like from scratch to all the way to a finished complete thing. So a main thing you would want to do is, if you're going to have a character on there, where's your main focus going to be? Are you going to want to center the character and put like two different like pieces side by side where the character's at, of maybe something that's important to you, or maybe from a video? If you're doing like a compare and contrast type of video, I highly recommend you have your character in the middle, and then like your good one or your bad one on either side, so you're able to kind of show a little bit of a, decision type of making thumbnail. So this one I'm making, I figured because it's kind of like a teaching, not really teaching, but like, like a type of tutorial, I guess you can say, if you want to call it that, but like a type of educational video. There we go. This is an educational video, so I figured, what's the first thing you think about when you talk about education? Teaching. You think about a teacher. So I've considered having my character drawn out as like a teacher or in a teacher pose to show that, hey, this is going to be on the board. This is what I'm going to show you. This is what we're going to learn. And, so I'm adding elements of like real-time things or, real aspects into my drawings just to make sure that it's a clearer image of what I'm going to be talking about. And that's one of the biggest things you want to do. You don't want to leave your audience feeling kind of stupid, that's the best way I can say it. You don't want to leave them kind of feeling stupid, like they don't understand what you're trying to talk about, or they don't understand what the message is trying to be conveyed. And that's like one of the biggest things you want to avoid. You want to make sure it's crystal clear, you understand what you're saying, you understand what's being represented in the drawing, and how you're able to communicate clearly. So definitely one of the biggest things. If you were to create like a whole mumble jumble pieces of like completely distorted art, or art that's just completely everywhere, like too many designs in one thing, you're gonna probably leave the audience confused and questioning why is there so many elements in the art, in the drawing, when there shouldn't be. Not to mention, don't feel pressured into creating a really big thumbnail, because if you kind of notice when you go onto YouTube, yeah, thumbnails look great, but you're only gonna look at them for a good couple of seconds before you kind of start realizing, oh, the eyes are wrong, the nose is wrong, the face is wrong. No, don't worry about that, because people are definitely, yeah, they're gonna notice right away, sure, if you're an artist, I guess, but most of the people are probably not gonna take 10 seconds to look at the thumbnail and be like, oh, that's cool. No, in reality, it literally takes just 10 seconds, or maybe even less. It takes me like 5 seconds. I'm like, you know what? That thumbnail's cool. I'll probably like click on the video. Yeah, that's it, 5 seconds. So you want to make sure that interaction within 5 seconds is what's gonna lead the traffic to you, and that it's gonna be proper enough as well. When I mean proper, I kind of mean like it's gonna be the right audience that you're looking for. So for me, it's I would say I'm more attentive to the art community, but also to my OG fans who are my Sonic fans, because I started the YouTube video with Shadowme. So I try to accommodate to both of my peoples, because I gotta try. But yeah, so I figured that if you also if I wanted to include that it's more of an educational video, I need to add more elements of teaching. But at the same time, how can I still be able to put down like a little bit of examples, So that's exactly what I did. I put examples. So on what you're seeing is basically I put the profile, the banner, and where the video template goes, so you can kind of take a look at to see what's gonna be in the video and how I'm gonna explain the banner, the video template, and the profile, things like that. And I did also put in the measurements that I got from online, that I have been using ever since then to keep creating my templates, the banners, and profiles, and they are completely perfectly fine with me. I have been using them, they work really well, I have no issues, and I do it at a 300 DPI because I figured 300 or more is probably the best one for me, because any lower I probably would not like. But yeah, so I would highly recommend, if you're going to be creating something interesting, make sure that it comes off as interesting and that the main focus is what it is, because if it's not, then you're kind of misleading the people and they're not going to take it too kindly on why this wasn't a thing or why this isn't accurate. You might get a couple of people that will get angry just because they say, oh, the video or your thumbnail is misleading, it doesn't look like what it was supposed to be in the video. Yeah, you want to avoid that for sure. Definitely, you want to avoid that. But on a clearer note, this is why we have YouTube. YouTube is perfect for all these little funky things where we can learn all these tips and tutorials and stuff. So yeah. So if you are one of these artists and you have come into the channel, well, we can go into some more in-depth things then. So one of the most in-depth things is that I do like lighting and shadows in a drawing, and well, in a picture, I guess, in a drawing you could say. So you don't have to be super detailed, because like I said, it is 10 seconds that they only see it, so it doesn't need to be as detailed, it doesn't need to be as colored, it doesn't need to be like so and so. You can literally just have like a regular base color, and it'll still pull through the message, because you know that it's just, as long as you got the idea and the character doing exactly what you needed to do. And again, you're not gonna look at it for long, because believe me, if you go on YouTube right now, you're gonna probably see all the different videos that are on there, right? Are you truly looking at them for a good couple of seconds? Maybe 5, maybe 8, maybe 10. No, not really, right? If you are, then congrats, you actually care about art. But if you're not, then that's probably because it didn't capture your attention, or it just failed to see like how it could be better, how it could benefit you, or it's because it's not a video you like, you know, because for some reason I've been getting a bunch of PewDiePie videos. I've never seen any PewDiePie video before, but for some reason I keep getting a lot about it, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm assuming it's because of the whole art thing slander that kind of happened, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Which, by the way, I'm for PewDiePie. Just saying, I caught up with the whole crazy things going on. So anyways, yeah, so you want to make sure that your beautiful thumbnail is definitely gonna be shown, and that it's not too intricate, because you don't want to put in so much effort into something like, that's not going to be seen for 10 seconds. Unfortunately, that is the horrible part about art. But if you do have the time and you are willing to create a really spectacular thumbnail with a bunch of lighting and a bunch of shading, go for it. I don't see why not. If you have the time, go for it. But if you don't have the time, don't feel stressed about it, because a lot of people do not actually make their own drawings. I found out a lot of YouTubers actually commission artists to do these type of things because they don't have the time to make it on their own, which is really great. So if you're actually wanting to be a YouTuber thumbnail artist, now's your chance, people, because guess what? It's easy now. It's your time. It's definitely the time now for YouTube artists to start getting those commissions before, AI takes over the world and then we're all screwed. So, yeah, anyways, art, you gotta step it up. But yeah, anyways, so definitely. So you can see that some of my characters, I'll go ahead and put in a video or a template that I created and I really adore. So you can see here that a lot of it is like kind of over the place, yes, but the big part about it is that you could see it reads Hello Kitty convention. So you could definitely see that was the whole point I was trying to bring across. Yeah, it may be a little bit over the top, but that's actually where I learned that I didn't need to go over the top in order to create a successful thumbnail. The only thing I really needed to show was basically my character, some kitties, and like the Hello Kitty, and just wording. So yeah, I was like, okay, maybe I'll learn from there. And guess what? I definitely learned from there, because in the video I am making right now, I was doing the thumbnail for this YouTube channel, which is going to be up by there. Is going to be up, by the way. Anyways, so the thumbnail for this one is just basically me showing a little wand, which I was confused by because it kind of looks like Perry's wand from Fairly Odd Parents, and I said, whoops, that was supposed to be a Dragon Ball. But, it's okay. We don't judge here. Anyways, so she's supposed to be pointing towards basically the blackboard. And if you don't know what a blackboard is, please, I educate you to learn what that is, or a board. It's a board, it's that thing you go to school for, and you have to look at all the boards. Apparently this generation doesn't know what a chalkboard is. Very sad. So anyways, yeah, so there's gonna be like a board thing, and it's gonna show what is what, what's this, what's that. And to be honest, now that I look back at it, I kind of wish I had put the size of the resolutions right next to the icons. So for example, like the avatar, I wish I would have put like the resolution to that and the measurements, because why not? It might not have been a circle, but I did use a square for that, so it's close enough, right? That one was actually a little bit interesting, but nonetheless, for the thumbnail banner, I definitely wish I would have put like the the measurements on that, because it would have made life a lot easier, you know, so you can kind of like go back and forth to see which was which and which would have been like more suitable for your liking. But at most of the times, the YouTube thumbnails are all the same type of size. But at the same time, you also kind of want to have already a pre-template, which, by the way, if you do not know, you can have pre-templates for these. So if you click on file and put new, for Clip Studio Paint, you're allowed to actually put down a size that you want with a resolution of your choosing, with also the color of the background, and you can save it as a new save type file. And I put mine under YouTube banner or YouTube TV display, YouTube background, and things like that, because it makes life a lot easier. So I would definitely recommend that as well. If you are going to be doing this a lot, or you just want to practice, definitely, you know, go ahead and try and keep it into a safe slot already, and just try to keep doing that over and over again, and just start getting the hang of it. Because remember, it doesn't have to be perfection. What I'm doing is just basically, yes, I'm adding lightings, I'm adding shadows, because I had time to do this. If you do not have time to do this, don't fret. Every thumbnail doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, most thumbnails aren't actually perfect. A lot of them aren't even really drawn out. I've noticed a lot of them are just like a picture of the person doing something, and it takes them maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And for artists, I feel bad, but it takes us like maybe hours to create like a simple thumbnail, because we either overthink it or we just feel like it's not good enough. So in my case, I decided to give myself only 2 hours of creating a thumbnail, to help me kind of realize, hey, you don't need to make it overly eccentric, you know. But in this case, I just really had a good time drawing and painting, or, you know, kind of just doing this, and I was like, oh well, I'm gonna keep doing this. So, you know, I just had a good time doing it, so I didn't mind it being, you know, I didn't mind doing it, and I didn't mind putting the work into it either, because I thought it was great. But yeah, anyways, so the moral of the point was, you don't have to worry about it being too crazy, you know, over the top. Okay, you're not fighting in a thumbnail competition. You are just trying to make thumbnails for your YouTube channel, and there are different ways to make it, you know, to get to that finish line. Sometimes you can do PNGs, which is totally fine, if depending on the video you're doing. Yeah, there's no whole like, yeah, like you could do the whole route where, oh, that's stealing. I'm like, yeah, like it depends on what your thing is, but no, like it's not, it's totally fine. You're not taking the credit for it, you're just putting it in the thumbnail, you know, to show it, right? So it's a back and forth thing. If you're stealing from another artist, that does suck, yeah, so don't do that. But anyways, yeah, so we're coming to a close on the on this video. Hopefully you guys had a good time looking at it, or possibly you learned something from this. You never know. But my takeaways from here are basically, here are the sizes, here are the resolutions. Go ahead and try it. Let's see what you can make, and don't be afraid to not make anything that's too like over the top or a little less. You know, if you got the time to do it, you can do it. But if you don't got the time to create something so intricate, do not do it. And don't be afraid to use your face either, or, you know, try to be some collaborative and make some collages and things like that, and make sure that the video represents, or the thumbnail represents what the video is going to be, because you definitely want to make sure you understand what you're doing. And not to mention, I think it's a lot easier for you to, like, you know, look for something, especially if you're trying to learn something specifically, for example, like a tutorial exactly like this. Then you're gonna say, hey, I need to learn how to do this, or I want to learn how to do this, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on the video because that's exactly what I'm looking for. Then boom, you got your audience right there. So anyways, as a closure to the conclusion, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry this took a little bit longer than I needed to. It's just been a while since I made a YouTube video, and I am hoping to now start making a video once every 2 weeks, because it does depend, since now I have 3 jobs, and this has been really hell. And I'm also a full-time student, so, you know, we're doing good. Since my videos are going to be based off like digital drawing and probably some personal drawing, like traditional drawing, yeah, I'm expected to see to make thumbnails from both like digital and, you know, possibly with my own face doing something, or, you know, so I'm gonna have to push the boundaries. I don't like putting my face out there, but I'm probably gonna have to push it, you know, to make a cool quick thumbnail that represents what I'm doing, you know, things like that. So, you know, like, it's just it's an experimentation. I gotta learn, right? But anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great night. Also, very late Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I hope you guys have a great time. I can't wait to create more videos for y'all. And again, if you could help me out here, if you guys want to like, share, subscribe, whatever, or even follow my Instagram channel, please feel free to do so, because that really does help me out and it brings me the confidence to also keep doing this. Not to mention, that would be one less job for me to worry about, because I want to continue as a YouTuber rather than having to do other things like my other jobs. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye!